Sometimes it feels comfortable, sometimes it doesn't. We don't really know how to feel.
In my head.
Do you ever find that you just don't know how close you can get to people? Sometimes you want to pull them in really close. You find somebody that you're dating and you're like, oh, I love this person. And then it feels too close and you're like, get them out of my life. I need my space. But then you get lonely and you feel like, no, I need to pull them back close again. And it's this back and forth between feeling like people are too close and like you need space and like you need your own time alone, and then feeling like you need them next to you, you need their security, you need them around you at all times, and it's very confusing. What you might be experiencing is called Fearful Avoidant Attachment, also known as Disorganized Attachment. Your attachment style is basically the way that you bond with people. You learned it in childhood, and it's the general pattern of how you relate to people and how you try to bond with them, how do you find relationships with them, whether that be love relationships, work relationships, friendships. It's just your general style. There are 4 attachment styles. We have secure, which is the one that everybody wants. You want to have secure bonds with people. And then you have 3 that are called insecure. You have preoccupied anxious, or anxious preoccupied, I keep saying it wrong. We have dismissive avoidant, and then we have this fearful avoidant, also known as disorganized attachment, which we'll be talking about today. When we're children, we need our parents or our guardians, our mother or father, whoever, the caretaker for us, to meet our needs. And we express our needs through waving our hands and screaming and making a lot of noise, trying to get their attention, because we need them to know that we need food or we need water or our diaper needs changing. We quite literally rely on them to be able to survive. So that's what our emotions are for. Our emotions are to let them know, hey, I need something, I need it now. Ideally, our caretaker, our parent, whoever it is, they attune to our emotions. So they listen, they hear us, and then they give us something that we're needing. They give us the food, they give us the clean diaper, or they clean us up, whatever it is. Maybe we're just left alone for too long. They're giving it to us. They're giving us that sense of security, and they're letting us know that they're here for us. They hear what we need and they will take care of us, and we are safe. Unfortunately, some parents may not be so tuned into their own emotional needs, and they may not have that language to understand us. And so they may have a hard time attuning to us and establishing for us that secure bond that we're looking for. In the case of somebody who is fearful avoidant, typically what happened with the parents was that they were very inconsistent in meeting our needs, and sometimes they were hostile to us. Like when we expressed ourselves, they attacked us, or they just did erratic things. They were scary because not only could we not trust them, but they did things that were unpredictable and frightening. So because of this, we get a mixture of the other insecure styles. We get sometimes anxious and preoccupied when we bond to people, and we sometimes get dismissive and avoidant. So let's talk about what that means. Well, what that means is that we don't have a strategy to bond with people. What we learned is that there is no way to get our needs met. Our needs just can't be met. And so sometimes we scream and we lash out and we wave our hands. Other times we turn away from the caregiver, the parents, and this leads to in relationships in adulthood where we don't know what to do. Sometimes it feels comfortable to be close to people. Sometimes it feels comfortable to be trusting. Other times it feels comfortable to be away from people. And our emotions are just kind of all over the place, and we don't really know how to bond to somebody. You can sort of think of this like emotional dysregulation. We weren't given the emotional tools to be able to take care of our inner experience. We were never given a sense of safety, and so when we're around other people, sometimes it feels comfortable, sometimes it doesn't. We don't really know how to feel. This could lead to some erratic patterns in the way that we relate to people, and it might actually turn out to be something like a personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder is known for emotional dysregulation. A narcissistic personality disorder is actually kind of like a defense mechanism to try to manage that emotional dysregulation in a maladaptive way. So what do you do if this is you? What you're going to have to do is probably go in to see a therapist who understands attachment trauma, who understands personality disorders. This is something I keep recommending when you have an insecure attachment, because the therapist is going to know how to give you the space when you need it. They're going to teach you how to have those emotional regulation skills that you need. And they are a person who you can feel safe and secure with, because they're not trying to manipulate you. They can get other clients at any time. They don't need you around, but at the same time, they're there to help you. So basically, there's a safe distance with the therapist, and there's an agreed upon distance in the way that you agree to set up the therapy. You choose when you go, and you choose when you don't go. It's also always a really good idea to find people who you do feel secure around, who you can have a steady connection with, and spend more time with them. That may feel uncomfortable because, again, you have that feeling sometimes that you want to be away from people, but if you can encourage yourself to stay with somebody who makes you feel secure, you may start to internalize some of that security. I also think it's a good idea to just read up on some of these things and try to get an understanding of them. You may not have a full understanding, but you may have a language to bring to a therapist. So there's books out there you can do. You can watch YouTube videos. That's what I did for myself to change my own attachment style. It can feel really agonizing not knowing how to bond with people, and it can feel like your emotions are just swirling everywhere all the time, especially if you have borderline personality disorder. So I don't want you to feel like you have to live this way. Personality traits can be changed. Attachment style can be changed. You don't have to live your life this way, but you do have to work on it. So go see a therapist if that's a possibility for you. Spend time with people who help you feel secure. Work on this. It is worth it so that you can have a life that is worth living and an emotional experience that is enriching and healthy and fulfilling. If you'd like to learn more about mental health, go on over to youtube.com/RyanLiberty, hit subscribe. Thank you to my patrons who make videos like this possible. If you want to support me in my mission of humanizing mental health, head on over to Patreon. The link will be down below. Finally, if you notice this pattern in yourself, what are some things that you have done to stabilize a little bit and to feel secure around people? Give us your tips down below so we can all learn from each other. Thank you as always for joining me here. I'll see you around next time, everybody.